We live. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to that We Got Action podcast. This episode 26 coming back, y'all. Guess who's back? Back
Back
again.
again.
Yeah.
Hey!
What up, We got
What
our
up,
boy Isaac
baby?
back with us again. You already know. For those of you who don't know, we're gonna be recording the next episode right after this. So we're gonna be at NFL right now. We got a few talking points. Everyone kind of laying out a different question. Vitor's got a couple things piggybacking off of me. Isaac's got a couple that he's got Cowboys and Eagles stuff. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Isaac, welcome back, man. I just want to say that. Welcome back.
Man, well, it's so good to be back. Now
A
let's
little bit of a
let's
break,
talk.
huh?
Yeah, man, I've been rested up, but luckily the Cowboys been sucking while I've been gone, man.
Yeah, everyone seems to love when they suck, huh?
I mean, yeah,
Much.
I'm always here for
Because
their
we
They're
playoff
definitely gonna.
collapses.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we do so much preaching that this is America's team, and I think they take more L's than any team. It
Than
doesn't matter
anyone
what it is.
else.
Yeah, and they like crucial L's, like playoff L's.
Well,
When
that's
they
one of the biggest
undefeated,
points I always see with them is when nobody expects anything from them, they're incredible. But
and
as
when
soon as
people
they
start
get
expecting
back into that 2, 3 seed and they started getting expectations, they start crumbling.
crumbling. And that's where I'm going with this. After the bye
Okay.
week, they almost lost to Houston. Then they
Hmm.
playing the Jaguars, right, this past week. And they are up 17. And your boy Dak crumbled. That defense crumbled. And look at that. And they end up losing in overtime off a pick six, let alone that. My question is, should we be concerned? And the biggest question, should we just assume that Dak can't finish?
Mm. I'm not. I'm
Uh,
not opposed to that though. I mean, he did finish the Houston game and march him down the field to get the game winning drive. But like,
mhm.
man, I ever since the ankle injury, some has been iffy. I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie.
He currently leads the league in interception percentage.
Something's iffy.
Interception. He throws an interception on 3.9% of his passes,
Yeah,
which leads the NFL.
bro. That's
For
Jesus
so
Christ.
if he throws
He's
20
26 and
passes, if he throws 20 passes in a game, he's likely to have a pick.
Yeah.
Yep. Based on the statistics. I don't think it's all on him. I do think that the play calling on the offense has been. Kellen Moore had a really good year. Was it last year or the year
What was
before?
last year?
He looked really impressive, and people were talking about him possibly being a head coach. Uh, Play calling has definitely taken a step back. I've seen Cowboys fans on social media talking about Dak is carrying this team on offense, and it's Kellen Moore needs to go. Obviously, fans are always going to feel a certain type of way, and typically
They're gonna
they'll
pick
back
their
the
sides.
players before the coaches.
Hmm.
So I take that with a grain of salt. Having Dak in fantasy, I can tell you that man's throwing the ball to the other team way too fucking much. um,
I
I
mean,
see
the
this man climbs up over 20, and then next time I check, he's back at 15. I'm like, what the hell?
the thing is though with Dak, I think that that interception, the game-winning pick six against the Jaguars was
Hmm.
unfortunate. It was not his fault. It was in the chest of his receiver. It was low, but
But he
it
threw
was
a
still
few
in the
picks the game. I'm pretty sure he
no,
threw
yeah.
two, three picks
He
against Houston too.
he's thrown picks. He's like I'm not denying that, but at least this last game, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna put it all on him. I
Hmm.
mean, and
Bro.
again, that defense is supposed to be top, like we all been
Mm-hmm.
talking about. You
Yeah.
can't blow a 17-point lead if you're that top of a defense like you guys say you are. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. But at least for that, we always got to be worried about the Cowboys. Again, you touched on it. See, with expectations, the one thing that I feel like is always their downfall though is Jerry Jones.
Hmm.
Um, again, vocal owner, but at the same time, I think that you put unnecessary pressure on your players when that
Hmm.
pressure is not needed. We know that you are America's team, quote unquote, but you can't be going on the radio every single week and saying that, hey, I think we're in a great position. We can definitely make this run to the Super Bowl. What other owner do you see do that? And again, this is why you really haven't seen them winning because it's that unnecessary pressure that I feel like they bring. As a
Right.
team, you always got to worry, but again, there's always another element with the Cowboys, no matter what it is. They'll always be a good team, but there's always going to be one downfall. It just depends on what it is at that moment in time. This season, I think it's going to be Jerry Jones
Okay.
again.
Man, I still feel like they're set up for success still,
They are,
and that's
they are.
what
but
is
That means
concerning.
does that not mean they're set up
but
for
the
failure?
thing is this: it's who's coaching them for me, because
Okay.
he's probably has more choke jobs in Green Bay than anybody, in my opinion,
Right.
and Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
But also, I think what's more concerning, I don't think a quarterback with a 54.8 QBR rating can lead any of you all, to be honest with you. To be honest with all three of y'all. I just
Right.
don't think it can happen. In the playoffs game he had in 2021, he had a 32.4 QBR rate. He's not playing well, in my opinion. Like, we put a lot of pressure on Dak and we put him in that like top echelon of quarterbacks. And in my opinion, the last couple of
Who's
years,
we?
well, not y'all, but
I can't remember if I
people
had him
in
out.
general,
Yeah,
like
he's
people in general
definitely.
put him in that top echelon, and he's not. He's there for most of the season, but as we get closer and closer
Mhm.
to the playoffs,
The
I feel like
meaningful
it's
games.
those meaningful. He starts coming out in a way different light, and I just don't like it right now. Like, there's no reason for you to lose a 17-point lead, and you should be a game manager on top of that.
Mhm.
Manage the game correctly. Your defense need to be better. It's a lot of other issues with that. But each playoff game, he hasn't like wowed you in a playoff game, I believe.
Mhm. Well,
Never.
yeah, he QB sneaked with no time left on the clock last year.
And
Yeah,
the one thing to me though, I don't think that's Dak. That's like Vitor touched on Kellen Moore. You saw how they were going with Cooper Rush. You saw how it was a much balanced offense. You saw that it was not forcing a throwing the ball and making their quarterback throw 45, 50 times a game, whatever the case may be. Dak throws a
but
high
my
amount of
thing
passes.
is, you
It's
do.
got to come back to the coordinator being able to properly game plan
Mhm.
with the QB that you have. You know that what was successful with Cooper Rush, you can morph that with Dak. Just
Right.
because, again, we know he has a great arm, but again, you got to morph it around Dak and what made you successful. Like, they were
Yeah.
running
Yeah,
the
but
football and they were doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
So that's
I'll,
all.
and
my
I'll
thing is,
go ahead.
it's like when you look at the stats, outside of him breaking basically his ankle in 2020,
Mhm.
he's throwing the ball less than he did compared to other years. And that's because they are
Correct.
giving the ball to Pollard and Zeke.
Mhm.
Correct.
I don't think he has a strong enough receiving core, in my opinion.
I
Like,
think
you
letting
can't
To
Amari
make
rely-
up
go
to make up
was
for his mistakes. To make up for the
Yes, because
mistakes.
you let Amari Cooper go, who low key
Mhm.
kind of opened the field up for CD. No one's opening the field up for CD anymore.
Mhm.
Not a
Mhm.
single soul on that like that core is helping him like open that up. And I don't think CD he can be a one. I think it takes another year for him to be a one.
Mhm.
He needs like a slot. Hopefully T.Y. Hilton can bring that to them. But for
Mhm.
right now, I honestly believe if Jerry Jones is prophesizing that they can make a run to the Super Bowl, Dak Prescott has to be 100% better. In the words of LaShawn, with my boy McCoy, he's playing
Yes.
like ass. He was ass, bro. He's been ass almost this entire year. And that's because he's hurt, coming off injury. I understand that. But for somebody who has that type of defense, he has a better team than most of these teams that making good, decent runs right now towards the second half of the season. And they should not be coming out of the bat like that under no circumstances against the Jaguars and the Texans. Should not be playing like that.
Hey, but
Yeah.
props though to the Jaguars. They're playing phenomenal, and they have the opportunity to win that division though. And
That would be crazy.
that would be, especially coming back from that. Nobody thought that they were going to have the life to come back a little bit from that deficit, especially the way that Tennessee was rolling, and now they've lost 5 in a row now.
Yep.
So at that point, but yeah, I mean, we just got to see what it is. This is we know the Cowboys are gonna make the playoffs, but we just got to see in what form of fashion they're gonna get eliminated. That's all it is.
Do we think y'all are concerned though? Are you
I'm
concerned,
concerned.
Danny? Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
concerned
you should be.
because I'm concerned because exactly what Isaac said is that you're playing these bad teams. Granted, you won. He led them on the field, or he led them down the field in the 2-minute drive essentially to win the game. But it shouldn't come to that when you're facing a 1-10-1 team. That's just what I'm saying.
Are you concerned?
I mean,
the type of team that is.
am I concerned? If I was a Cowboys fan, yes, I'd be concerned. Am I concerned? Hell no. But I do think we have to give both the Texans and the Jaguars a little bit more credit as well.
100%.
The Texans just pushed the Chiefs.
Yep.
This past week.
Yep.
Like
You're talking about that weak ass defense of the Chiefs.
Yep.
But still, they pushed them though. OT.
You're right. But that Chiefs defense ain't what's up either, bro. They ain't either.
We've been calling them the
talking about-
favorites.
But right, it's because of the offense.
Are you concerned, sir?
Yes, because
I'm not concerned. That's just my opinion. I'm not concerned. NFC's weak.
I would have been
Still strong
concerned
at
if
the top,
defense
though.
played well. I would
Well,
have been not concerned if the defense played well.
Yeah,
If the
I think
defense didn't
if it
play
was
well,
like
as you're heading into the playoffs
a
with a team
lot
that
of
chokes
teams.
in the
But there's
playoffs,
still 3 weeks. There's still 3 weeks.
Still plenty
They
of
still
time
have
for them
three
to
weeks
fix
to
it.
right the ship, and they've played well for 12, 13 weeks now.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
too
Yeah.
bad. I'm not concerned after 2 bad weeks.
Yeah, it was bound to again, like same thing with the Eagles with that loss. It's bound something is bound to happen at least for a 1st
Mhm.
couple of weeks, or you go through a lull in like a certain month or whatever the case may be.
I
But
mean, shit, for us, it feels like a different season right now than it did after the first
Yeah,
3,
you
4
guys went
weeks.
through the same shit for
Yeah.
3 weeks. Your
Like
defense looked terrible.
it's like I said, I'd rather it be early than late.
that's
So,
what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I don't think it's
That's
late.
where
It's
the
not like it's
concern.
week 17 and 18 and you're played
correct.
2 shit weeks right before the playoffs. They still have 3 games left, 3 big
Yeah.
games
Yeah.
to try and cement their seeding.
Yeah, and they get
Yeah.
to play the Eagles without Jalen Hurts, most likely.
Unfortunately.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. All right. What we got next? Yeah, I know I'm excited to talk about this team that you
I
really
know
like.
you
I'm
are.
really
I
happy
know
for
you
'em.
coming off watching that Hard Knocks, boy. I know you ready.
Yo.
So I need.
I'll
It's
buy
it was
somebody.
good.
I'll
It
buy
was pretty
somebody.
good.
I watched
I'll buy
it every
somebody a
week.
kneecap.
It was so good.
I want to watch that in
I know you
season
like
with the cards.
kneecaps.
So I'm rolling with the Lions right now, and they have completely turned around their season from being 1-6 to 6-1. So now they're 7-7. And they kind of not really control their destiny. They still got to win out to have the best possible chance.
Mhm.
But they go Carolina, they go Chicago, and then they go Green Bay. And those are 3 very winnable games. They've already beaten the Bears.
Mhm.
Carolina's not looked great all year. And then I think the Packers bested them earlier in the year.
Yes. Yep. Mhm.
But it was like a 20-15 kind of game. It was
Mhm.
like a close, gritty game.
Yeah.
And they've been winning those games more recently than
Mhm.
earlier in the season when they were losing those games. So it's really likely, I think, that they win out. And I think they go 10-7. I think they slide into that 6-7 spot, either interchangeable with either the Giants or the Commanders. Thank you. I was
Mhm.
about to say
The Skins.
Redskins.
The Skins.
I do that. I do that with Washington, and I do it with Las Vegas. I be saying
Yep.
Oakland all the time.
You
Of
know
course.
the Guardians are the Guardians though.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. Their only loss during this 7-game stretch is to one of our other favorite teams, Buffalo.
Yeah.
Do we feel the Lions can make the playoffs? So I'm saying yes. I think they will. Do you guys, you three, are just kind of chat it up?
You
Do we
said
think they can make the playoffs? Do we think they can do damage if you say yes? Or if you say no, are they still a year away and need to make some moves?
they got to win out, right?
More than likely they got to
It's a
win out.
30. It's like a 39% chance.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the Commanders or the Giants lose, it makes it easier. And then whoever's in second place in the South, is it the Falcons?
Currently, it's the Panthers who they play this week.
6
Yeah.
and something, right? Or
5-9
something?
for the
Yeah.
Panthers.
Right. So
and,
if they
like,
drop
6
that
and-
game, it makes it even harder.
Yeah.
So because then Carolina can win out. I mean, they're basically fighting with 3rd and 4th place in the NFC East.
Mhm.
So
I'm with it, honestly. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. We talked about it. Dan Campbell is, I think, finally
Dan
seeing
freaking Campbell, man.
he's fine. I think it's kind of like more so like finally seeing the fruits of the labor and finally seeing everything take effect. And you saw that again, they were ravaged by injuries in this first part of the season. Everybody's coming back now. I believe they can make the playoffs. I think they do have to win this game, and I think we'll all be taking them a little bit more seriously to take a spot. Will they do damage? It honestly depends on who they get. Can they?
Well, if
yes.
they get 7,
They'd be playing currently
they'd
Minnesota.
probably be playing Minnesota or you guys.
Yeah. And I feel like
And if they,
they
honestly,
can beat
if they get
Minnesota.
7 or 6, they'll either be playing Minnesota or you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can beat Minnesota.
Correct.
They basically beat Minnesota twice. But again,
Correct.
like we were saying, they were blowing games early. They were up big on Minnesota in the first game.
But that's the thing. Like if they
And then they
line up
handled
and
Minnesota in the second game.
if they line up and match up against the 49ers, do I think
That's-
that they'll beat them? No.
No.
I think though if they hit a right stride, like if they're going in all momentum's up, can they make it a close game? Yes. Will they win that one? No. But if they play the Vikings, I think we are talking about them moving
An
past.
upset, bro,
Moving,
honestly.
I think that's an upset waiting to
Not, and
to
I'm not.
happen.
That's not me knocking the Vikings this time. I
No.
just think the Lions
It's
match
but
up
it's more
really well
possible.
It's
against
me knocking the
Minnesota right
Vikings.
now.
I said it's
I
me
know
knocking.
you are. I know you are.
I still don't
It
like them.
it's
Never
more
have,
possible.
but
It's more possible for them to move on and do damage
Yeah.
against the Vikings than it is realistically to do that to the 49ers, because the 49ers now are just hitting
the
on
defense, though.
all strides with their defense right now.
Vikings.
You got to
man.
play a
Purdy's
perfect
got them
game.
moving the ball.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we have the number 6 offense overall on a year, and that's considering the start, the first what 5-6 games.
Yeah.
So you got I guess that would make sense. What do you got, Vitor?
So backpacking off this Lions discussion, they are we believe they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to get a top 5 pick next year as part of this Matt Stafford trade from the Rams.
Well,
Yep.
It's currently looking like it's going to fall 3 or 4, but it could fall 5 or 6 depending. But I don't know, man.
think 5 would be the lowest.
These
or the
Rams
highest.
are looking.
They're 4
Oh.
right now, I think.
I think so. I think right
Yeah.
now it's 4, but they're not
'Cause
looking
it's
so hot.
Houston, Bears,
Seattle. So
No.
Seattle has
No.
Denver. No.
oh, Seattle
De-
does
Yeah,
have
Seattle has
Denver.
Denver.
But
Yeah.
it's Denver.
Seattle
We're
does
talking
have
about the
Denver.
records. Denver and then
And then I think the
LA and Arizona are both 4 and 10.
something.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Which I think Denver is too.
I won't.
I think so. I think Denver
Pretty
is
sure.
4 and 7 right now. One of those two. But
I looked at it
those
earlier.
those are the correct teams, at least for the top 6 right now.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so they're likely to get a top 5 pick.
Right.
Should they go and look to secure their quarterback of the future? Or should they look to improve the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL? And I think
I'm gonna go with that latter right there. I think Jared Goff in the right system is a good quarterback. He proved that with Sean McVay. I think that just relationship just weaned out because of the limitations that he had. But I think again, Dan Campbell's a different coach, a different type of motivator, and instills confidence in players. But I think that if you can, and if you feel you can, again, their offense is rolling. I think that you can take a chance and at least use Jared Goff for a couple more years. If I'm not, and then they're still going to be set up with cap space once they get rid of his contract as well. So I think you got to look at it from that. I think that defense wins championships in this league, no matter how much we talk about the offense. So I think that you got to focus more on the defense if you're in the right position, obviously, in the draft. So
You want to go ahead? I mean, I'll go with you.
Yeah. So for me, I think I just got this feeling like Goff. This is like nice little year for him, and he needs to get shifted to a Jimmy G role and let like draft a quarterback. But that's only if you get Bryce Young, though.
if you get the right one, I think.
But B Young,
I think Bryce is going.
B
Yeah, I
Young
think Bryce is
on
going one.
I wouldn't take the risk if it's CJ Stroud because I feel like they the same damn people. You could rock out with Jay Goff a little bit longer in a sense and go rock out and go grab. Hopefully to see what the Bears do with the second pick.
Because Jared Goff having a great year offensively right now. Like he's throwing the
but
ball.
if you can grab, but I say it depends on who's available if they have a 3 or 4 pick. Because if Will Anderson's available, I will snatch him fast as I can.
He ain't gonna be available. That boy going number 2 overall. I'm gonna have that Willie Anderson jersey on my back.
See, that's my thing. Now, say Bears because there's been rumors a little bit of talk about the Bears thinking about moving down. Now, if the Bears move down, I will tell the Lions grab Will Anderson. But for right now, I really believe you could stick a CJ Stroud or somebody right behind them just to have it there, just in case Goff doesn't perform to this level again next season.
Yeah.
But I will grab a quarterback because it's very rare you can find 2 good quarterbacks, but you count on somebody who was a reason why he got ran out of LA. That's my thing.
I got you. Okay.
See
what you got for it.
I'm gonna go. I definitely think the CJ Stroud route is there, depending on where that Rams pick is going. But I don't think that's the problem. We've seen that offense put up 40 bombs multiple times this season. Jared Goff is not the problem. I can understand them maybe bolstering the offense. No, I agree. I got you. I think they can bolster the offensive line even with a top pick that high.
Mhm.
or go and bolster the defense because I think the defense is coming into their own during these last.
They've been
It's an
better.
entirely different team the last 7 games, where that defense is getting healthy and showing kind of the potential. I mean, Dan Campbell's a defensive coach. It kind of has taken time to get what he has to
Mhm.
implement, and they're finally seeing, like you were saying, Danny, the fruits of his labor.
Yep.
So I wouldn't hurt to kind of bring fresh young legs into a new position on the defense, but I also think getting Jared Goff some more help on the offensive line, also giving Jamal Williams or
And DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift some help on the offensive line couldn't hurt either. They just drafted Jamison Williams, who will be fresh for next year. St. Brown's still in his 3rd year.
DJ Chark Blossom.
The guy the tight end behind Hawkinson's looking pretty solid too. I think he's a
Yeah, I
rookie.
forgot. I didn't even know his name.
Dude,
I forgot
their
his
rookie
name.
class overall.
Rock or something. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
looking pretty solid. I mean, I would say bolster defense or get a lineman, lineman. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
But they're making the
Can't go
playoffs. I
wrong.
can feel
Yeah, can't go wrong with it. I mean, they got a solid foundation. They stripped everything down. They got a solid foundation at the end of the
But
day.
to Isaac's point, it will be tough to pass on CJ Stroud if he's there,
Mhm.
Yes.
because I
And-
think the potential
yeah.
of that offense being even more potent is very scary.
Yeah, and when you're sitting,
But
if you're
also,
sitting
too,
at
that
like a
gives-
3rd pick, where if Will Anderson's gone and Bryce Young are gone, those are the, we talked about the
The two
NBA
guys
draft.
that
You
fit
got
on
Wemby,
needs.
you got Wemby and Scoot who are going to go 1 and 2, right? Unless something crazy happens, I think Bryce and Will Anderson are going 1 and 2.
Well, we don't know anyways because Broncos are
further
4-10, Colts are 4-9-1, and then there's 2 4-10 teams, the Cardinals, and then the Rams.
Yeah. The Bears are 3-11, so it's
And
not
then
like
there's
they're
also
crazy.
3 teams in the NFC South that are 5-9. So we
Yeah.
really don't know where the Rams are going to end up. They could end up even somewhere 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
And at that point, we're really talking defense.
Yeah. But they are in good position. They are in good position.
Right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So now, finishing that out there,
Are we all saying they're going to make the playoffs?
I say yes.
I say yes.
Yeah.
I had no,
Okay.
'cause I think they'll stumble in Green
Packers? Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Bay.
That's my biggest question mark too.
Because you're heading to Green Bay. Like the last game was in Detroit.
Especially because they're playing for something too. They're also in the hunt.
Yes.
They
Aaron
can win out
Rodgers-
to 9-8 and steal the 7 seed. So
That's what I'm saying. So you playing is probably a meaningful game in Lambeau. It's gonna be cold. Ain't no dome for this. I just want to see how Jared Goff responds. That's why I think they'll stumble at. But I don't think they got to worry about anything these next 2 weeks against the Panthers and Bears.
We'll see how it goes. We'll definitely revisit this again. We'll talk about it once the playoffs do solidify and which games are where. We'll definitely be giving our takes on that. The last part of the NFL that we're going to be talking about here, again, 3 separate 17-point comebacks this past week. Bengals, Jaguars, and Vikings. Vikings, the most historical, obviously coming back from 33-0, which was crazy. But which comeback do we believe was more impressive? The Bengals coming back and beating the Buccaneers, Jaguars beating the Cowboys, or the Vikings coming back and beating the Colts?
It's such a tough question because it's obviously the Vikings comeback is so impressive in the term just the pure volume, but the Colts stink, and it's Matt
Yeah.
Ryan who blows leads. He's most famous for blowing a lead.
the team's is just bad, though.
So-
So that's why I'm like, is it
They
impressive?
doodle.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it's
Like,
super
yeah, it was
impressive. It's a new record for the NFL, but I'm also like, bro, why the fuck were they even down 33-0?
Yeah, it's
how you talking about
it's,
winning the Super Bowl?
It's the
when
one
your
half
ass is down
Vikings that we've been
33-0?
talking about for months
Can't
now.
stand it. No,
This is
I'm thinking Jaguars
I
for
think
me
so,
was the
too.
more impressive because I think out of the bunch of teams, they're probably the worst, right behind or right ahead of the Colts of the 6 teams that are discussed in this.
Yeah.
And I think the best team out of the 6 of these, it was the Cowboys for me. And I think to be down 17 against a defense that's supposed to be so stout. Yeah, man, Trevor Lawrence is looking really
Dude,
freaking
I was
good.
gonna
Zay
add
Jones
that.
and Christian Kirk are looking like a 1-2 punch. Evan Ingram's looking insane. ETN has been what they were expecting before he busted his knee last year, or his foot last year. Yep, they're my bad. So yeah, they look like they could make some noise next year if they can also make some good offseason moves. If they have an offseason similar to what like the Giants, Jets, or Lions kind of did going into 2023,
Yeah.
they could really
Well, I
have a
mean,
scary team
and they
next
really
year in
had
the
an
division.
offseason of that, and they blew a first round draft pick,
Yeah,
the
they
first
did.
overall pick,
Yeah.
because you could be talking about them with Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau or Sauce Gardner, who's a true lockdown, and I think their pass defense is probably their weakest overall, like area.
Yeah.
But after they blew the first round, they blew the first overall pick, and they still made a jump. Trevor Lawrence is really looking like he is the number one
He's
pick
looking
that we
like
were
that
all
franchise
expecting.
QB.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He always had it. I mean, again, it was just the Urban Meyer
I
thing.
think he was one of those guys
Yeah,
where most people who weren't looking for clicks were aware that he got set back a lot by what Urban Meyer did last year.
Luckily, it didn't ruin his career, and Doug
Yeah.
Peterson saved him.
Well, and I think that's part of the reason why people were so high on him is because of the poise he always had, and at Clemson, he had that like maturity, and that leadership, that dog in him that you really look for in a quarterback, and I think that's why a lot of us didn't question him so much, even though he wasn't performing,
He'll
and
be
now
top
that
10
he is
going into next
performing.
year.
Well, I mean, if Derek Carr was top 10 going into this year, anything can happen.
Damn
Anything can happen,
straight.
well.
Damn Skippy. Damn Skippy.
I don't know.
Man, I had we did cut some segments out. I did have a question about that still.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because is Derek Carr gonna be the answer for them? Because I don't think he is.
He's not an answer for anyone.
That's an answer for somebody need to find a way to trade up to go get a quarterback.
It's just all about the situation.
Problems, and it's not to say he's not a problem. I think he's a capable quarterback. I don't think he's
then
great.
what's the problem if he goes? Then you lose Devontae.
Yeah, well, that's why Devontae's there, and then you're talking
That's
about
the only reason
about
chose them.
McDaniels is still
Devontae
there.
could be winning the NFC North again.
Yeah,
if he
correct.
stayed.
And then you talk about McDaniels and his questionable play calling and everything that he's been doing. The defense is terrible. The offensive line is bad. So they have so many holes, or I don't think he's the focus of what you should be. If an opportunity arises where a team is looking to dump their quarterback and you can get an upgrade without having to give up too much, then you take it. But I think you have to be okay with Derek Carr right now because you've got so many other problems.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah. Okay. That's where I'm going to. Derek, you gotta keep him because you don't want Devontae to be disgruntled in any type of way. You signed him to that money. You don't want to be in that situation of where you got to try now. All of a sudden, I got to try and please Devontae because we let go of his best friend, which was the reason why he signed here. At the end of the day, But at least to finish off the question that I had though, I'm going with C, agreeing with the Jaguars. Bengals, they're on a hot streak. We knew that they had to get warmed up. At least for me, the Bengals were getting warmed up on offense anyways. They were going to come back. The Buccaneers weren't going to be able to hold that. But I'm going to go with the Jaguars because they basically came back from a 17-point deficit against the quote-unquote best defense in the league. So besides the 49ers. I'm just saying, at least one of them. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm going to pick the Jaguars. The Vikings, we didn't know what Vikings team we were going to get. And again,
we got the same. We got the same Vikings team we always get. They play one half of football.
Yeah.
So one half of football.
There you go. But yeah, go ahead. What you got?
Win by the hell in their ass. That's all it is for Minnesota. They just like to win by on the hell in their ass. That's it. 11 times this year, they won 3 or more points. Huh? Yeah, all right, okay. And I still don't respect them. But the Bengals thing on this sense, the only reason I'm picking it, I was going to be different just because we all been picking the Jaguars. It's just because the Bengals. Because Tom Brady is only 2 times in his career where he's coughed up a lead like that. One time in the AFC Championship and now to the boy Joe Shiesty. That's another reason I picked that out, just because that's something a little bit new. And Tom Brady literally just admitted of a podcast. I'm dealing with, first time in my career, I've dealt with some losing adversity. Where he started to take the brunt of everything and complaints. So that's kind of fun to see, but it's just for me, reiterating Joe Shiesty's inserting himself into that QB conversation. Because he has Mahomes' number. He has Brady's number. Now I don't know about this Josh Allen, but he might get it one day.
I'll put him up. Hey, if he got Patrick Mahomes' number, he has Josh Allen's number. That's where I'm going with it.
You're stupid.
I don't care.
You're
Joe
stupid.
Shiesty
You
is
don't care that you're
that.
stupid?
Joe Shiesty's
What's
him.
9%? 21.
21? Joe
I
dumb
hate
ass
you,
player.
bro. Nah, we're finishing, man. We're going on to the major league
Nah,
now,
hold
bro.
on,
It can't
hold
be-
on, hold
Give me
on,
the
hold on.
Bills.
I just want to go back to him saying about the Brady going through that adversity. He's been going through a lot of negative, like, Brady's always breaking a new record. Feels like every few games he's got something new he's got to hold on to. Where it's like, oh, passing yards, passing touchdowns, oldest quarterback to do this, oldest quarterback to do that. Now he's second time he's given up a lead that big in his career. First time he lost to a quarterback in his first start. Like, it's starting to thing, and there's been whispers about him retiring
Bro, I
at the end
mean,
of the season.
Might
So,
be.
He should have just
when you
left the
play
first
a
time.
20+
Yeah.
year career, eventually that shit's gonna
Should have
happen.
left.
but
the first time.
imagine losing your wife to play another season, and it's this one, and then you retire anyway.
So
Yep.
But like reports have said, don't take me for this, but reports have said that's the reason kind of why they like broke up, because this man went
Hey,
back for another season.
It is
Yeah, it
because
is.
he
It is
put
a
the
reason.
he put the team and he put the game over his
Well,
model
he
wife.
he had promised her that last year was
He'd
his
be
last
done.
year,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
he should
then
have just kept his
he was
promise.
hungry for more, and now
Now look at him.
Yeah, because
he went back for seconds and got food poisoning. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good one there. I like
went back
He
for
that.
then lost
seconds
the
and got
head
food
coach.
poisoning.
I like that
He
one.
lost his
Alrighty.
coach. His coach decided to go be a GM.
Mm.
Bruce Arians. Shout out to Bruce. Good
Yeah.
guy. Todd Bowles is a
Very.
defensive coordinator, not a head coach. But
Not a head coach.
you see
Yeah.
the Jets sucked when they had Todd Bowles, but I guess we'll keep it going. All right, no running back. Look at Lenny. Poor Lenny. Lenny ain't got
Oh,
a brand.
poor Lenny, bro.
Hey,
That's
Mo-
because Rashad White needs the keys.
That man went from my RB2 to riding my bench in one of my
Yeah.
leagues.
pretty much, man.
Say that
But
again.
that'll lead us into the MLB real quick here. For the latter portion of episode 26 for you guys. So free agency is in full swing. Pretty much a lot of the major players signed. What we're gonna be talking about here real quick, gonna do a little game. It's gonna be strikeout, base hit, home run. Strikeout,
run.
basically, like
There you go.
what? Yeah, strikeout basically is that this was not a good signing for the team, anything of that nature, whether that was salary, whether that was fit, anything of that nature. Base hit, it was a safe signing. They're going to contribute. They're going to maybe be a little bit average of what they're doing, but it's not going to get them over the hump. And then home run,
decent.
obviously a
It's
home run signing fits the team perfectly, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to go from there. So I'm going to name off a couple of players. If I do miss any players, feel free to chime in, then we'll talk about it that way as well. So I'm going to start off with the obvious one here. He was the main free agent that everybody was talking about, Aaron Judge. Re-signed with the New York Yankees, 9 years, $360 million. Do we believe it was a strikeout, base hit, or home run?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say strikeout for the
Oh, wow.
Yankees because you overpaid that man for
Okay.
somebody who still ain't played well in the damn playoffs. But it's okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say base hit.
Yeah, I would give it like an extra base hit, a little double. Little double.
A little double.
It ain't, and he ain't just like safe single, but
Nah, he's a base hit right now.
Yeah,
Only
it's like-
because it's
we
an
talk about
asterisk of a contract year.
it's the contract year. There's been, I don't know if you guys have seen the reports about the juice baseballs that were used
Yep.
for the All-Star game and what else for something else, and then supposedly they were also
And
used a lot in
prior
Yankees
seasons.
games.
And it was in prior seasons
Yeah,
as
but
well.
supposedly they were found a lot more in Yankees games than in other
Because they were trying,
games.
yeah, because they were trying to get him the home run record and all that
So,
stuff. Yeah.
if that's the case and they go back to giving them regular balls next year, what happens? Is his health going to hold up? He had probably his healthiest year of his career, right? So, yeah, it's one of those like
All that you went with an extra base hit?
yeah, because he's at
You sound like
because he's a
doing
home
my
run when
strikeout,
he's at his
baby.
best, but he's a strikeout when he's at his worst. So he gets a little double
That's
in the
why he
middle.
gets base hit.
Yeah, that's why he gets a double right in the middle.
Base hit is the middle. The base hit
Yeah.
is the middle. You can't create a middle.
Exactly,
Base hit is the
bro.
middle.
There's a big
Hey, my
difference
man.
between a single and a triple, my guy.
It's a base
That
hit.
man leading off first.
All right.
He's going with base hit.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Okay.
I agree.
It's a good base hit.
I'm going with base hit because it fits the Yankees because he's a dog at Yankee Stadium, that right field wall. But even though he spreads the ball all around, but again, he fits what the Yankees are trying to do, which is not win a World Series. I'm just saying. But next signing took everybody really by surprise this morning was breaking news. Carlos Correa swiftly changed from apparently there was a difference of opinion in his physical from the Giants. Again, Vitor is a Giants fan here, so it might be a little sad and emotional for that. But Carlos Correa, 12 years, $315 million, going to the New York Mets. Strikeout, base hit, home run.
That's a home run, man. Come on. Man.
Home run for the Mets. It's a strikeout for the Giants, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Giants.
Funny, I'll tell you all a story. I fell asleep in the spare room and I woke up at 4:45 and I was like, oh God, what time is it? Right? Grab my phone, check the time, and that's the first thing I see. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
We're supposed to be announcing him.
But yeah, I'll go back. I'll even take a step back and say what I thought about it before this all happened. I would have given a base hit. I think for when we signed him,
the Giants. Okay.
when we signed him
I would agree
initially,
with that.
because
no, I would have said home run.
my issue is, again, we talked about this. The man was going to be 41 at the end of the contract.
Well, yeah,
and
you
it's
could say that about
massive overpay.
almost all
Yeah.
of these.
But we
That's just
needed
baseball
to make a signing of that stature. We needed to
Exactly.
commit money. We needed to show that we are willing and able to attract a big name.
Yep.
And now we did worse than strike out now.
Yeah.
So
y'all might as well just give up the season.
Dude, we're
to
gonna
be
be the
completely
A's.
honest.
We're like the A's
Yeah.
now, and I'm sad.
You're like the Rangers, but at least
Yeah.
the Rangers got
The Rangers are
run.
good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, one every 5 games.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Actually, one
they
every 5
they're
games for 6 for
they're
3
good
months.
on paper. All right.
At
They
least
have
you
a
know
good
what?
team
At
on
least
paper.
Gabe Kapler had one good year. You know what I mean? At least he
We're
had
moving
one
like
good year.
Moneyball.
I'm going home run.
Yeah, for the
Carlos
Mets.
Correa.
Yeah, I got a home run for the Mets.
That lineup is stupid. And
I guess he's playing third in New York.
he is playing third
because
Lindor is going
Lindor's
to play
is
short.
yeah,
And
that
they
is
still have Brandon Nemo playing second.
Even though I think Correa is probably a better shortstop.
Not defensively.
yeah, no, not to Lindor.
I mean, they're both Puerto Rican, so they should low-key just play. They should just play short and second. Honestly.
Literally.
Oh boy, you quiet. Let's get it.
The next one that I got here for us, shout out Dave. Xander Bogaerts going to the San Diego Padres. 11 years, $280 million. Home run.
Grand slam, boy.
I was actually going to say the same thing.
Grand slam, my boy.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm with them on that one.
I fucking love
that's
Xander.
a grand slam.
X is a dog.
I think he was probably the actual best player.
It's
on
the
market.
best thing they could have gotten too,
Yeah.
because now that forces Tatis
to
out,
either outfield or DH,
just out.
Yeah.
It doesn't. They don't even need him anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a huge plus if he's healthy.
Yeah.
Or eligible to play.
Yeah.
It's just a huge plus if you get his. I mean, fucking what, 250? You can just get his home runs back in the lineup.
Mhm.
But now it's like, okay, we don't need him anymore.
Yeah, and then
So if he continues to be negative or a negative aspect of the team, fine. But if he comes back and is back to that borderline MVP,
it's gonna be scary.
And you get to take him out of position of getting hurt all the time.
And that's not taken away from the fact that he just fucking went out and got Juan
defense.
Soto.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And Manny Machado MVP candidate this season.
Jesus.
They bolstered that fucking rotation into this past year with Blake Snell, Darvish, Joe Musgrove. There may be a bullpen piece away, which is a lot usually happens at trade deadlines anyways. So they'll probably make some moves halfway through this upcoming season. Their fucking team is ridiculous.
On paper, I think
their team
is the best lineup.
I think they beat the Dodgers this year.
I can see it.
I can see them winning the NL West.
That one guy who I don't know, he predicted the last 3 World Series winners. Some guy tweeted a couple years ago every World Series winner for like 10 years, and he's been right for 3 years. Like he was right for the first 3 years of it or so. He had the Phillies win.
He had the Phillies winning this year, but they
yeah,
that's right.
That's the one he's.
Because
Give
I
me
was
the
about
Dodgers,
to
man.
make my futures bet off of that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he had the Padres winning, I think I want to say 24 or 25.
Because he had Seattle next year.
Yes, he
Seattle
had the
next year,
Mariners,
and
then the
That's way too
Padres, and then the Giants. And I'm like, there's no chance we win a World Series anytime
That's
soon.
way too early.
Exactly.
So
The next one
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with here, I'm actually gonna go with Wilson Contreras going to the St. Louis Cardinals, replacing Yadier Molina. 5 years.
Wait, was it Wilson or was it the?
No, his brother
Was it-
is in Milwaukee now.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Got traded to Milwaukee. So Wilson Contreras is going to St. Louis, 5 years, $87.5 million. Strikeout, base hit, or home run for St. Louis.
I mean, I'm teetering between base hit and home run.
yeah,
I feel like that's kind of
Um,
a steal.
yeah.
I'm
For
between
17.5
strikeout and
million?
base hit.
That's kind of a steal, but he's got big shoes to fill.
That's what I'm saying, man. We watered it down too much with these base hits. That's like a double or triple.
I'll give it a
That's like a
base hit.
single. That's like a
I'm-
single with a stolen
honestly-
base.
I'm gonna go a single because I
Yeah.
honestly think he's overpaid. Yeah, I think he was overpaid. On top of that, if you look at his numbers, he's consistently been on the.
I don't think
He's
he's
consistent.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think he was-
overpaid. What?
Yes, I think.
One
He
of
was.
the
Go
top
ahead, go
offensive-
ahead,
That's
go
what.
ahead.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna
I
say,
just think
best
'cause his
offensive
numbers are-
catcher.
He's been having a slight decline each year. I'm going off that.
Yeah. But that's natural for catchers, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, they're not all buster.
I mean, here's what I'll say. I'm gonna end up going into home run. Because what you've gotten from Yachty has been defense for these last 5 years.
Mhm.
So I think when you put in a fucking solid defensive catcher, he's no Yachty Molina,
Mm-mm.
but then you add Willie's offense. I think
Mhm.
that's that's big
Yeah.
shoes to fill, man. And I think
Especially
he's-
with
and-
comboing with Nolan and Paul
Yeah.
Gross.
and
yeah.
I really think I personally think that's a steal for when you look at some of these other adjacent contracts. I think that's a steal.
I agree.
All right. Next one I'm gonna go with here. Hurts me to say this. That's probably know where I'm going with it. Jose Abreu to the Houston Astros.
Home run, bro.
Home
3
run.
years,
Home
3 years,
run.
58.5 million. Home run for the Houston Astros
As
again.
usual. As
Circle
usual.
the base.
Circle the what?
Circle the bases.
It hurts me to say that, man, but I'm gonna call it a
Consistently.
home
Just
run.
have him just run around over and over with them because
I'm
they
gonna
just
call it a
got
home
richer.
run. That's what I'm gonna say.
The rich got richer.
Yeah, Caban's throwing the thumbs
He-
up. He ain't speaking on it.
He's too upset to speak.
Yeah, we are.
I
but
guarantee you.
Sorry.
I guarantee you, he hits 125 RBIs this year.
Oh my God, he's
With
gonna
an
have
actual healthy team that gets on base all the time, he's
and
hitting.
a good
He's
pitching
getting back
staff.
to 125.
Good pitching staff. Good bullpen. Oh yeah.
They
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
have to play first because they're gonna have Jordan.
Or
one
they
of
might
them's gonna play
resign. They
first.
might resign Yuli Gurriel again.
He could play first too. Shit, they got 3 of them
It don't
motherfuckers
even
right
it
now.
don't even matter, bro. But
Kyle Tucker played a little bit of first base too.
yeah. I mean, I at least gave off
Shit.
some names. Is there any names that you guys want to talk about real quick?
Man, you ain't talking about
strike-
Andrew Benintendi.
What
Base hit.
base hit?
Okay.
Safe.
Benny's
safe.
a base hit.
Dansby
It's
Swanson.
base hit.
Swanson.
Yeah, I'd
Base
say base
hit.
hit.
They suck
I'm-
anyways.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think.
It's the reason I would have said base hit
Yeah,
for the Giants
That's
because
it,
they
man.
would still
Same-
not
same-
be
yeah.
great.
it's the
And
same
the-
thing. They needed to
Alright.
make a move and make a statement,
Which is why it gets from strikeout to base hit, but
but
it's not like putting them over the
Yeah.
edge.
And it's actually not a ridiculous contract either. We got him mostly for his prime years.
Who's
So,
we?
The Cubs. I'm just saying because I'm from Chicago and I just say
Clip
we.
that for Pater. Clip that for Pater. Hey, he's a Cubs fan.
No, I'm not. I'm just
you said we.
You did say we.
I'm gonna just let y'all talk. Go ahead.
You breaking my heart, Dan.
Either
I
way.
love, I love the White Sox.
No, the Dansby, it was a good trade. I think a lot of people were praying
It was
for
a safe
Correa.
signing.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people were praying for Correa, which was a prayer.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. So it depends what Cubs fan you
Yeah,
talk to. I
yeah,
know a
I
lot
mean,
of
you
guys
could
are
end up
probably
like
also
us,
trying to go
so-
back into the tank.
That's
Yeah.
true too.
But it's a good signing. I think it's Good for the Cubs, base hit. I think it's a strikeout for Dansby Swanson. I would have signed someone.
Yeah, I would have tried to. I mean, he got a ring, but I would have tried to been signed
You
somewhere a
ain't
little
gonna
bit
get
more
another ring
competitive.
until you, unless
Is that C's talking or is that the White Sox in you talking?
Do you really think the Cubs are gonna win again?
I don't think they're gonna win again.
Not
I think they're a
another.
lot better this
Was it
year.
2016? They got another 100 and what? 4 years
I
ago,
think
5
Dansby
years ago.
Swanson
He was a safe
benefited.
signing.
He
Yeah.
benefited a lot from being in a very, very good team.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Now
like,
all
look
the
at the
now
early-
all the
Look at
pressure's
his
on him.
first 3 to 4 years. He was not very good offensively.
yeah,
Mhm.
and
He
his
took
power.
a big leap going
yeah.
into that World Series.
His power's been okay recently. He's going to be playing in
Yeah,
some
but he's
hit
never a
friendlier.
power hitter.
Yeah, but he's
Power
going to be
hitter.
hitting in some friendlier parks against some stinky teams. But yeah, again
It's
base
a
hit.
base hit.
One move
Okay.
that I have a base as a base hit, and I really like this move is Brandon Drury to the Angels.
The Angels, though,
Man,
I just-
I don't
the
care about
Angels-
any signing that they do until I see that they make the playoffs with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I
it's
think
not
this
even
is
that, dude. They just are so.
they're so
They
mid.
They're like the
suck.
definition of mid.
Yeah, but that's why I like the Drury signing because I think he's a really consistent player. He's
Yeah,
like a true
versatile.
solid player. He can
Very
play almost
versatile.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Like he's one of those guys that like
but is that what you needed though?
they needed a lot. So having somebody who can actually hit the ball is gonna be a good start. Good start.
Like they need everything.
He was a silver slugger at the utility position last year. Like
I'll give you- I'll
yeah.
give you
they
base
need
hit.
they
I'll give
needed
you base
they
hit.
needed bats, and I think for them that's a really solid sign.
I'll
He's
give
somebody
you
I
base hit.
wanted us to sign the way we are with our players moving around all the time. Having
give you
somebody like
base
him be beneficial. But now we just have
Alright.
Sean Manaea and nobody.
Dude, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
they got
signed-
Sean. They signed their biggest signing was Sean Manaea.
We also got the one from
Strikeout.
the Blue Jays pitcher.
Stripling.
Yes,
Strikeout.
Strickland in my head. I'm
Oh.
like, that's not right.
Yeah.
We got
It's
two.
not like the-
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
keep
telling you,
going.
we're the A's. That's it.
What about
That's what
Jacob
we did.
DeGrom to the Rangers, y'all?
That's a home run.
Home run.
I mean, a home run
if
for
he
him.
stays-
If he's healthy, home run. If he's healthy,
Justin Verlander to the Mets?
Home
that's a
run.
home run. That's a home run.
All right, there we go.
Verlander and Mad Max.
Man, DeGrom, I don't know, bro. That might be a base hit.
Ooh,
That's
I mean,
such
it's
a
a
fucking
risk.
pussy ass
I'm gonna.
move.
I'm gonna
That's such a
say.
pussy move.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say from the Rangers
A
standpoint,
soft ass move.
it was. But from the Rangers standpoint, it was a home run because they got a pitcher
Yeah,
and they're
right.
spending. But for Jacob DeGrom, I don't know what you were looking for, my guy. If you think you're
No,
gonna
I
win,
think
that's
he
a
just
that's
knows.
a
He just
strikeout
knows
slash
he's gonna
base
be
hit.
injured again.
Yeah,
He knows he's going to somewhere
And
where
that's
they're
all
gonna pay him.
guaranteed.
yeah.
It's guaranteed money 'cause
state
there's no
income
tax.
Yeah,
The
He
thing
knows
is,
what the fuck he's doing. That was a soft ass move.
yeah. The thing
From one
is,
of baseball's
should have come
greats.
taking a challenge.
I'm
to San
sorry,
Francisco.
C's. I ain't mean to get you riled up. My bad, man.
It was a
My
soft
bad.
ass move. I've
It
been
was.
thinking about it. I just didn't want to bring it up because it was soft.
yeah. All right, all right.
He's a
And then my
bum.
last one is the Trey Turner deal to the Phillies.
That's a
That's
home run in
huge.
my
That's a
opinion.
home
That's
run.
huge.
They
I think
needed
that's a
that.
position they were lacking.
Yep.
No disrespect to Didi,
Yeah.
but that's definitely a position they were lacking in.
Mhm.
I think he instantly
And they
makes them
let
better.
go of Gene Segura as well. I believe that they're not going to re-sign him. So, but
And he was
it's
he
a
playing
home run.
second or short?
Yeah, he was playing second. He was playing
And
second.
Didi
Yeah.
was short.
Didi wasn't even on the team.
Was he not? Did they get
Nope.
rid of him?
Mm-hmm. He wasn't even on the team.
So who the hell was playing short for them?
Oh.
Exactly.
Damn, can I say Grand Slam then? Shit.
Yeah, man.
I'll say
Grand
Grand
Slam out the
Slam.
park.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm going base hit for Benintendi, by the way. I know. I don't remember if
You did
anyone
say that,
responded to
yes.
that.
You did say it.
Yeah, I think it frees up Andrew Vaughn to play first, which Jose left.
I think it was
think it
Stott.
frees
Something B Stott. B Stott.
Brandon Stott.
Brandon Stott. There you go. Was the shortstop.
Okay, Grand Slam on that.
I'll say that. But yeah, man. That's all. That's at least all I got though.
Syndergaard to
That's
the
all I got.
Dodgers.
They'll make him good, I think.
Base hit. Ain't enough noise. Base hit.
Barely a base hit.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Reach it.
Like a
Reaches
one-
on.
I think
One
all
single?
their moves
Era.
are people
He
getting
reached on an
healthy.
era.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
think they know
because
Syndergaard was a
He
base
said
hit by
reached on
error.
an air, dropped third straight, safe
Yeah.
at first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Not
it's
too
one of
bad.
those like he is a good pitcher
On his day.
on his day and when he's healthy, but recently he ain't been Thor.
No, but
He's
he
just
getting
been
that cool $12 million though. It is what
Cash.
it is at the end of the day. So, all right, though, yo, that finishes it off for the MLB segment, episode 26 here for you
little
guys.
quickie episode.
Yeah, a little quick. It's late night for us. It was a different day. We had to try and get everything all
and
together.
we got to get into the
Yeah.
NBA and the soccer stuff still.
NBA
So
was deep.
Yeah.
what do you mean?
NBA is gonna be
We haven't
real.
recorded it yet.
That's
NBA
right.
is gonna be real deep. You know what I mean? For
Hey,
episode
For
27.
y'all
so
watching on YouTube,
yeah.
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 You'll get it when y'all watch.
You'll notice.
You'll
when you watch the
understand what
video.
we mean when you watch the video. So if y'all want to tune into the YouTube
That's
video.
over my
And
head.
you're gonna
Yeah,
see
I'm tired.
you're gonna see why my head was
comment
spinning.
if y'all are watching on YouTube, comment why we're talking like this and why we're being so cryptic and sus.
Yeah, y'all will understand. But
Y'all
thank you
get it.
guys.
I'll return twice. Just know.
Thank you guys all again. Again, happy holidays to everybody who tunes into the show and takes time out of your day to listen to us. Again, happy holidays to you guys and your families. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be safe. Everything else, below the stars. Make sure you guys are having a great time with your friends and family. We all want to wish you guys from We Got Action Podcast a happy holidays. Tune in for episode 27. Check out all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and everything else, man. But thank you guys all for tuning. Yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. And we'll see you guys episode 27. Peace out, y'all.
Shout out Campbell Soup.